What's up? Oh, kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yes, I should say kia ora. What the bloody hell?
Ko tēnei te wiki o te reo Māori.
Oh, kia ora, bub.
Is that all you're saying? Bub's not even Māori.
I'm not as fluent in Māori as you are. You're pretty fluent.
Ko ai toi ngoa.
Ko Kapreska, King Toku Ingoa.
No hea koe.
I'm here
That
in this place.
doesn't mean where are you now. That means where are you from? What tribe are you
I'm from here.
Bro,
No, I'm not from here.
you're not Australian.
Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. There's multiple cameras here at Creative Talk Podcast this week. We're going live on TikTok as well as all other channels. Good to be back this week. And we're also celebrating Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori. Now, I'm not fluent in Te Reo Māori.
Neither am I.
And it's pretty crap because I should actually learn a lot more. Neither are you. You're way better than I am.
I wouldn't say I'm fluent. I'd say intermediate.
Still good, though. Still good, buddy.
But you know what's funny
What?
is because people think I'm white, they look to you and they ask you the questions and you're like, but they won't ask me.
No, what they do is they look at you and then they look at me and then they ask me where the toilets are. Do you guys know where the toilets are? Yeah, ask that guy over there. He knows. Anyway, today on this week's podcast, we're going to be talking about a small business and actually like probably the big reasons as to why most small businesses fail. And it's kind of a topic that a lot of people in marketing have been talking about, especially in COVID, but we've never talked about it, have we?
Not really. No, we've been talking about how to get your business off the ground.
And how to
Things
keep
like
it going.
that. Yeah.
How to keep it going, how to make things like, you know, more prosperous, more beneficial. But I also think right now there's a lot of talk that's been going out in the mainstream media from people like Gary Vee. A whole bunch of people have been talking about this topic. And it's spurred on the back of COVID and how many businesses have actually been crushed, like completely no longer existing because of that particular pandemic. And we won't talk about the vid, but we will talk about how that impacted a lot of industries and then also like probably the reasons why some of those businesses ended up failing in the first place.
But I think it also, because a lot of people lost their jobs, then a lot of people then started their own businesses. So I think that a lot more people got into it and they're trying to figure out why or how to make it successful.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So I suppose if we were talking about like the top reasons why a lot of businesses fail, there's kind of like top 5 reasons, there's top 10 reasons. Our particular reasons are based on what we've seen both pre-COVID and also now after COVID. And also what Amber and I have done within our company, moving it from like a 1-bedroom type business into now a 2-bedroom type business. No. Into an office with multiple
It's kind of come
teams.
full circle
and
a bit, hasn't it?
We've kind of gone back to the start. Like we started in our own little small apartment, and now because of working from home in COVID, we're now back in it.
Yeah, we had the office. We had the big office. With,
Yeah, we had the
know,
big
everyone
office with the
working
team
together
and-
in the office, and now
And we still do. We still have an office. We still have team. We still have an office, but we don't really go in the office as much as we used to. We used to be there like 5 days a week, 9 till 5, religiously, right? So that's changed for us. Now we're only doing that like twice a week, once a week, depending on if we
depending
really need
on-
to go in at all, actually. I think working from home pre-COVID for a business like ours has really shown that if you have very talented people that work within your company, you don't need to manage them, micromanage them, and actually, you know, make them travel an hour into work or an hour back home. If they're doing the same output, if they're still loving their job,
yeah,
let them stay there.
I think from talking to our staff, they're a lot more
Yeah.
productive.
Yeah, they love working from home.
But that's because we employ mostly females.
Yeah, because they get the
And
shit done. That's why.
females are onto it.
No disrespect
No
to men.
disrespect
We're
to
good at
males.
stuff, just not everyday stuff.
Males are easily distracted
Yes.
by Fortnite.
I would just call them bloody useless. 90% of us are just like, we're just lazy. Like we get complacent. We don't pay attention to detail. We skip over detail. We forget a lot of things. And we're just not as good. I'm just going to say it. We're just not as good. If you're a female out there and you've worked with your partner or you're in business or even you work for a useless boss, let us know. Yeah, what you think? But personally, after many, many years, many, many corporates, many, many businesses, and now us working together after how many years? 13 years now?
No, we haven't worked together
12
for
years?
13 years.
Oh, it seems longer than that. I wonder why. I'm not
We've
sure.
been stuck together for
Kinda
13
like a
years.
prison
14.
sentence.
I'm the one serving the sentence. What did I do wrong?
I don't know. You're in prison. But if you've just joined us today, we're talking about small businesses and the top reasons why they fail, both pre-COVID and after COVID. And we're just sharing in some insights around how long it's been that we've been working in business together, which we've seen a lot, actually. We've seen a lot of businesses come and go. We've seen a lot of changes through COVID and pre-COVID, post-COVID.
I don't know. That thing was
Oh,
giving
God,
us
there
the-
goes Nana, getting
Sorry.
distracted. Hello.
I just did a boy thing. No, TikTok was telling us to swipe the screen.
Pay attention, Nana. All right,
Oh.
stay on topic. Here we go. So we're going to talk about the topics of small businesses and why they fail. And then we're going to give our insights into probably why our business hasn't failed, knock on wood, and won't continue to fail because of some of the things that we
Knock on wood.
Oh, she's funny today.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Nana's had a coffee.
I haven't had any coffee,
Oh,
mate. I'm having
my
my chai.
God.
Having my chai latte.
So the number one topic that I'm going to talk about, which is related directly to us because we are a marketing company and we have one in multiple regions from Asia right through to Australia into now New Zealand. And now we've expanded into the Pacific Island region,
We have.
which is pretty damn cool.
Cool.
So if it's anything happening in APAC, our company now does. But we started in a very small apartment, 1 bedroom, small, tiny space,
Yeah.
and have now grown into the space that we do now.
Our space we shared together was like in the same room, and I had to like
Yeah,
sit with you all day in the same room.
And yet we're still here
Still
in the same room.
No, this isn't the same room. I love it.
Anyway, the number one reason why a lot of businesses fail, especially small businesses, straight off the bat, no strategy in marketing and no marketing. That's probably one of the fundamental reasons why, and there's many reasons why that causes businesses to fail. But the main one is, if you want to sell product, you need to market it. If you want to grow your brand, you need to market it. If you want to build yourself as a profile person to get out into the media, to build that side of things, you need to market yourself. And if you're not doing any one of those three things, it won't grow.
Well,
Right.
people need to know. You might have this really awesome product, but how
Yeah.
will they know? How will they know that it exists without you marketing it? That's
That's your
That's
insight.
it. Full stop. How will they know about your product unless you market it?
That's true. It's true. A lack of marketing really is one of the big reasons why businesses fail. And it's because you can say that it is the product and it didn't work. You can say it's the customers weren't interested. You can say all of that stuff. But really, there is a product and a customer out there for everyone. There's a lot of people in this world. And as long as you can get the product and the benefit and the value across, which is what you use marketing to do, if you do it properly, then that will help the business to sell the product. And if you sell the product, you'll grow the business. And if you grow the business, you will grow the brand. Now, obviously, we're in marketing and we've seen a lot of marketing failures, not just in small business, but also big brands that have problems around marketing their products and their services to many people all over the world. But we see this still happening today. Even before COVID, businesses were making this mistake. And now after COVID, even more people are making this mistake. For some reason, after COVID, people just got freaking lazy. We're not hustling as hard. No one's having face-to-face meetings as hard out as we used to. We're not traveling as much as we used to. There's this lack of wanting to get back to the same level of pace that we used to be at pre-COVID.
Because they probably come to the conclusion now where it's like, oh, do we really need to be doing all of that?
Nah, we don't.
We
That's the
don't.
thing. We've realized we don't need to do that. We don't need to like have people stay in the office for 40 hours a week just so we can see what they're doing so that we can actually do the same job as what we're now doing from home.
You can work 4 days a week and get it done.
Yeah.
We do.
But with regards to marketing, how has that changed?
Marketing itself has changed a lot because everything's gone online. Everything is now video.
Everything's online.
Everyone wants to be an
Everything's video.
influencer.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
it's, it's really, if you thought newspapers were dead before and magazines were dead before COVID, they really are now. A lot of them actually went out of business during COVID.
There was a lot of
And-
titles that
and-
went out of business, and a lot of blogs and a lot of websites that we used to work with. They all went under.
So now it's heaps of people selling through social media platforms like TikTok, as we've seen with some of the things that we've bought.
Yes, digital's become the lazy way to market now, and we see a lot of tools that are coming out. AI tools that allow you to produce content, to repurpose content, to push content out to multiple platforms. That's all really good. Even ways and hacks on how you can create content. Nothing really beats the creative mind of a human, though. Like, you can automate as much as you want, but the real good ideas always come from people first, machines second.
That's what I keep saying. I still haven't found. I know that there's a lot of people out there that aren't.
Machines
good
make our life easy, though.
They do.
They make it
do.
easy, but they also make you bloody complacent.
They
and
do,
lazy.
and
Less
not
creative.
speak properly and not write properly, and I don't know.
Support marketing in this day and age, whether it's pre-COVID or after COVID, is vital for you to grow your business, sell your product, engage with customers. It's still one of the number one things that we see as a massive mistake around businesses that fail in this day and age. So that's why I've put it as top of the list. Now, if we looked at one of the other reasons that is probably priority or top of the list, Gary Vee, who was recently on TikTok, he has a massive following, has talked about speed being a massive failure. And here's his little content piece around why he thinks speed is the demon.
Build a successful company, even that is why I think most people are not winning. I've never thought of anything besides how slow can I build something.
Speed matters now.
Yeah, okay, speed matters. I also think it's why nobody's winning. Speed is the devil. Do you know why everyone's sitting and analyzing so much? Because they're trying to figure out how to do it fast. Speed's the fucking devil. I've never wanted fast because I've always sensed, and now I feel very confident that I'm right at 46 years old, that fast is what fucks everyone up because you go into shortcut land and that's just real talk. It just is. When you're 20, you were 10 years old 10 years ago, and I remember being 22 and my cousin Bobby being 30, and I thought my cousin Bobby was the oldest man on earth. So I know how hard it is when I tell them, hey, think of this as a 10-year game. They're like, fuck you, Gary, that feels like forever. The problem is, it's why so many 20-year-olds lose. It's also back to mental health and all that. It's why they're all so anxious. They want fast to show everyone else they want. And that's really fucking them up.
And that's true. There is so many young entrepreneurs that are making these online e-com stores, and they do it for a couple years and they fail at it because it doesn't work, probably because they don't have marketing, and they just think it's going to be this massive, huge, like
overnight
Kim
success.
Kardashian overnight success and
But
be
how
massive.
long has she been in the game, really?
And it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. We see people trying to rush into business all the time, and it's crazy because after COVID, we saw so many new people go into businesses that they don't even know anything about, simply because they knew they didn't want to go back to work, or their
they had
industry had
no-
been affected by COVID in a massive way. So they thought they would start something new without doing any research whatsoever, and it didn't work.
I know.
It didn't work. Speed does not work when it comes to business. No matter if you're large or small, having an effective business is more than just having a good idea.
I think it's also a result of the way that social media is today, because people, as we know, young people, say Gen Zs, for example, even younger millennials, don't want to wait to find out something. So, 3-second videos and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And people think they'll see somebody online and be like, oh, they're an overnight sensation. No, they've probably been working at something for 5 to 10 years. And now they've only just become famous but they've been working in the background for a very long time. They don't see all of that. They just think, oh, that guy just made this video and it's gone viral. He probably made 100 videos before that one went viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a long game, but people are
Not interested in the long game. And our business took a long time to build, man. Like, there is no... in the first probably 4 years, in the first 2 years, we were still working full-time jobs, eh?
Yeah, we were.
We didn't even have a proper company until we were earning enough money in the business to actually leave our jobs. And then we decided to make the move. So I think a lot of people, they quit their job And then they go into this idea of a business that they're going to do, and they expect it to do really well because they're seeing all these other people doing the same thing and it seems to be working. But what they fail to realize is any business takes time to build. And if you're not constantly pushing it each and every day, it's not going to grow.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
I mean,
It just doesn't work. Like, no brand, no product, no customers will ever come to your business if you're not constantly active every single day and doing it for a number of years, not just 6 to 7, 12 months. That's not a business to me. That's like research.
well, it's like what Gary Vee's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's like the guru now when it comes to marketing
Yeah.
on social and digital.
He's a pioneer now, man. The guy's strategies are next level.
Yeah, but he's been working at it for years and years and
Decades.
years, right? He
Yep.
started selling his wine online. And when
First
people
guy
thought
to do
was
it on YouTube.
crazy. And then, so he's kind of like this guy that introduces new things to people and then it takes off. But most people wouldn't put in the hard yards. They'll be like, oh, after a year, oh, it's not working. I'm going to, I'm just going to give it up. And
Yeah.
move on to something else. Even after a few months, I think maybe.
Fast doesn't work when it comes to business. It's long, it's slow, it's freaking hard. But the benefits are definitely there. But it's a long game. It's kind of like real estate. You don't buy a property and flick it off in 3 to 6 months unless you're playing the flip game, which still, you need to know what you're doing in order to make that happen. But in business, you can't really flip it. In a way, if you want to grow it like substantially, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
It's what our grandparents and parents would have, said. Things take time to
Things
grow
take time.
and nurture. It's like when you grow a garden, when you're planting a garden. It's not going to happen overnight,
With the garden
but it
references.
will happen. Just like me, I've just planted some
Oh,
new
God.
seedlings or some new things, and they're just starting to sprout, and I'm so excited.
And today we're talking about flowers and gardening, thanks to Nano.
But see,
Brought to
that's
you by
just
Bunnings.
A great metaphor for business.
Is it?
It is because you've got to look after it. You've got to nurture it.
You gotta nurture it.
You know,
Gotta
you
water
You
it.
got to water it. You got to put it in the sun.
Sun.
You got to give it some love. You
Give
got
it
to
some
talk
dirt.
to it.
And then you gotta give it a cat that bites all the leaves off every now and again, just so it knows it's alive. It's a little bit of competition.
Yeah.
You gotta have that little cat. That little cat. That's what our cat does to our
And then
plants.
you're like, no, Kaiti. And she's like,
Anyway, today we are talking about the reasons why small businesses fail. And so far, we've touched on no marketing or poor marketing being a massive reason for that happening. Also, speed. People expecting businesses to take off in like 12 months and expecting themselves to be millionaires within that time. Mainly because they're seeing all the stuff on social media, and COVID has changed a lot of businesses to e-com now. And they think that's going to be their way out.
Yeah.
Only to realize is their way down. Because you can't rush anything, especially a business. Now, the number 3 reason that small businesses fail, and this really, really came through during COVID, is they fail to adapt and be innovative. They fail to do that, meaning that they don't have it as part of their plan. It's not part of their business strategy. It doesn't even exist. There's no budget to support it. It's just not there. And one thing that happened during COVID is pretty much all the people that failed to innovate in some way, shape, or form are now no longer in business. And there were a number of industries that just got completely wiped out, impacted, shut down, affected, loss of staff, loss of clients. It just was like across the board. It wasn't just one particular business. I know people in multiple industries that were massively affected, and some that even just could not operate whatsoever.
yeah.
And that is like COVID is an anomaly because you can't really plan for that kind of effect, right? But what you can do in business is you can plan to adapt and constantly look at the trends that are happening so that you can look at pivoting. And we had to pivot, right? 'Cause
We
we
did.
went full digital.
Yeah, where all our events stopped.
Well,
And
we had
digital
massive events. We did.
Yeah.
And then we also took on a massive training component and started training virtually with our clients, all of their people. We used Zoom as a tool to do all of that. We used Zoom to run webinars and events online. And it went really well. And that allowed our business to keep going through COVID being closed
Yeah.
and digital became a primary focus, which we knew would happen. And so we were able to pivot, add additional products, and then keep going.
I think it comes down to as well people being open to learning something new, right? So we didn't know anything about Zoom before
No.
COVID. I'd never heard
Or
of it.
running virtual events
Or
or any of
virtual
that. We
events, yeah.
never really sat in that space at all.
Yeah, exactly. But if we would have said no, we're not going to bother to learn about that, especially you, because you're the one that facilitated all of that stuff. You know, if you would have said no, then we wouldn't have had all those opportunities.
No, and things are coming back to being normal now. So obviously that side of the business, the virtual side, which we opened up and nurtured and grew, that's still very much a product that our clients can have if they want it. But it's now not becoming a primary focus anymore. And so now we're pivoting again, going back to our normal events, our normal teams and suppliers that we used to work with. And it's coming back hard and fast. So, you know, we've been able to pivot one way to adapt, and then we've had to pivot another way now that things are coming back.
Yeah.
And that's this role that you have to have in business. You have to be nimble and quick. You have to adapt really quickly. You have to look at the opportunity and then take action and just like, fuck it, just go for it. You don't have time to fuck around.
Yeah, that's one thing we
Don't have time.
can be fast is the is like
Looking at the problem.
looking at the problem and solving it, and
Yeah.
then working on it to make that grow.
Yeah. Because if you don't, as a business owner, you're not doing your job properly, which is to make sure that your doors stay open. And when the doors get taken away from you, like the instance of COVID and everything that happened, you have to look at other ways to make it work. I saw a lot of restaurant businesses go out of business, but then I also saw a massive group of businesses switching to, you know, sending
Uber.
out their meals directly and delivering it personally and building relationships with their customers directly and actually providing a whole new service of how to cook from home from your favorite restaurant and sending you all the stuff.
We did that
We did that.
with Atlantic, didn't we?
Atlantic Group we supported absolutely because they're amazing and they look after all our events. But
Grain Store.
the Grain Store, which is another small local business here, a cafe, they decided to turn their menu into something that you can actually buy, and they bring all the stuff out to you, and you cook it for yourself.
Love grains.
See, that to me is real innovation. No matter what the industry is in or going through, you have to look at innovating so that you keep those doors open. But we saw that failing to innovate and adapt being a massive issue. And now that we're coming back, it's slowly like all those businesses that had to close their doors, they're not able to come back.
No.
It's that, like, if you look around any city right now, there are so many for lease signs and so many buildings, and I don't think corporates are going to go back into the main cities. I don't think that people want to come back to work in droves, but I do think people want to go out and have fun.
They do.
So I think there's going to be this really weird space of where a lot of empty areas are going to be turned into some really cool
We've seen it.
experiences.
Yeah, like car parks turning into interactive,
Yeah.
like visual, almost
Experiences
like
that you can
experiences, yeah.
Go in and eat some food. And
Game, like lots of places have created like gaming or game spaces,
Interactions.
like ballers, things like that. Places like that where you can do. I don't know. People are getting creative.
I think people want to escape more too. Because you're stuck at home, you know, with your family and everything, you want to kind of go out and enjoy stuff now more so than ever. Because now it's not so much about spending time with family, because you kind of do that a lot more because you're working from home. Now it's about, like, if I'm going to go out, I want to do something fun, something different. So again, this is where the market is changing again. This is where the opportunities lie. And if you are a small business and you're looking to pivot, there's a lot of opportunity there that's coming up. There's a lot of real estate available at really cheap prices. There's ways that you can look at the market and go, well, customers are wanting to come and have fun. They're not coming to go to work. So what's a business that you can create that will help that happen?
Yeah, something fun and interactive.
Something fun, interactive, and like people are lazy, so you either have to make it really cool that they come to you, or you take it to them. There's so much opportunity in that space, and that's only entertainment that we're talking about. So adapting, looking at the market, looking at the trends, and making sure that your business can fit in there somewhere, that will always keep you afloat. Always. Anything you want to add to that?
You said it well. Make something fun and exciting for us to go and do. We always like new adventures.
I know that the Ballers is really cool. If you haven't been to Ballers in Melbourne, and this is not a sponsored ad, but it's a
fun.
fucking cool place.
It's really cool. I love
It's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Although don't go with your competitive wife because she doesn't like to lose.
Look, I
Or your
smashed
competitive
you
son.
guys in the darts. All right.
She didn't.
Oh my god, here we go.
She didn't. She's talking
Anyway.
about another time altogether, but it doesn't actually matter. I won both times.
Whatever.
I did, because that's how good I am.
He didn't win.
I did. I won twice.
And what? Going to the
in darts.
bathroom? You did.
Going to the
not.
bar. Anyway, today we're talking about why small businesses fail. We've touched on 3 reasons as to why we think they fail and continue to do so post-COVID as well. Probably the 4th reason why businesses fail will be my favorite side of the business, finances, and the mismanagement of it, meaning not knowing how to do your invoicing properly, not knowing how to get the money in quickly, not knowing that those 2 things are actually a problem if you can't manage both of those, not having an accountant. Like, there's so much that goes into running a business, right? That's one part. But
Wasting your money on the wrong things. Spending
wasting your money on the wrong things. Oh, yeah, I've done a lot of that. All that kind of stuff really does have an impact on the company, on the business, on your growth, on your marketing, on everything. And if you don't have a proper structure or even a way of managing that kind of facility, yeah, you're going to get in trouble real fast.
Yeah. Well, you know, the first thing to go when companies start to lose money is the marketing, right?
Yep.
So they need to actually, that should be the thing that continues, marketing and advertising.
Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. But it doesn't actually help if you know nothing about finances. If you know nothing about
where the money is going.
where the money's going to go or what it is that you need to do. Like, it's actually a whole nother business, managing the finance side of your business.
Get some experts to do it, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Our
But
accountants have been with us since we were making nothing.
they probably, yeah.
Since we were actually working in corporate jobs, right? And then they started looking after our company stuff as well. And they have helped us through a number of, like, GST issues, taxes, how to write stuff off properly, how to do things really beneficial
like
for us to grow.
magicians.
Even if we wanted to expand into either another region or get another staff member on board, they help us manage all of that stuff. Like, I didn't actually like accountants before our accountants, and now I wouldn't even have a business without one.
Yeah, because you need to employ experts. You can't do every single thing. It's some things you do need to invest in, and a good accountant, which doesn't need to cost a lot of money,
No.
is somebody that can really help your business to grow.
And they help you with ideas on how to get money in quicker. Like, before looking at a financial statement with our accountant, I didn't realize that having someone pay you 90 days or 120 days made such a big impact on your taxes and also the growth of your company. Like, to me, I thought it doesn't matter when they pay, as long as they pay. But if there was
No.
someone paying in 30 days compared to someone paying in 90 days to someone who paid like 170 days later, which we've actually had, we've actually had clients that have taken that long to pay us for work that was completed. So imagine it. You're in business, you do the work, and then 170 days later, you get the money in. How is your business going to stay afloat?
Even they
Money mismanagement.
Exactly. I mean, even the advice they give on, like, you can just add this one thing to your invoice and that can help you.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that, which other people who are running their business and creating their whatever they create don't know about that kind of stuff.
No. Or what if you need to send invoices in multiple countries, which we do? So what
Yeah,
do you do
like, what do
if
you
you're
do, GST
going to run an
invoice?
event at Grand Prix in Singapore? How do you charge for that? How do you bill for it? How do you do that if you're doing something in the Pacific Island region or even in New Zealand? Like, we've really used the knowledge and expertise of our accountants to help our business both scale and grow and also maintain and look after all the clients that we work with as well. So mismanaging your finances is a massive, massive, massive issue. And I don't see enough people giving support to accountants and like actually giving them like a lot more support and love because of what they have to do every day. I certainly could not sit in front and do that job. It's so hard.
We don't have math spaces, right?
That's why I do marketing.
This is why
This is not a
we've
maths
got
face.
faces for marketing, not for
Fugly marketing.
Speak for yourself, mate.
I was.
We don't have faces for numbers.
We don't.
That's why we employ the people.
I like
that do.
making money and I like spending money, but I don't like looking at the invoices going in and out and all that.
No, I try to give you information about it, and your eyes glaze over, and you don't even. You're like, what?
All I need is my
what-
quarterly report and I'm good, thanks. Ready to go for another quarter.
Yeah.
Let's go. So finances makes up tip number 4 as to why small businesses fail to grow and actually fail in the impact. And we'll leave it at number 5, the top 5th reason why businesses fail to grow or just don't work whatsoever. Actually, this one's a funny one because it used to be like having a business plan is the reason why you should have business. I actually think you don't need a business plan. Like, it's good for a structure, but any good idea could be a business. But not every good idea can make money.
Yeah.
So a business plan sometimes is based around a good idea, but it will never make you money. So I'm not really too caught up in a business idea. I know a lot of people that own a lot of businesses and they have a lot of, different types of things. What are you looking at
So
now?
I would say that the 5th tip would be not keeping abreast of customer needs or the competition.
Oh, that's a big one too. But I was
Yeah.
just touching on a business plan not being
Yeah.
relevant. That's not really the 5th reason. It's more like I don't think you need a business plan.
Well, I mean, some people would beg to differ. It's just that
I
you
don't care. Nah, I do.
No, but you know what?
I do.
Businesses change, so it's almost like you need to, at the beginning of each year, plan out your business plan for the year.
Oh, yeah, and we do
Yeah,
that in a number
yeah.
of ways, right?
So-
we do that with Nigel. We do
Exactly. So
Our
it's
accountants.
like looking quarter by quarter.
do that with our
what are we
team.
going to be doing? What are we going to be working on? Where do we want to grow? What do we want to do here,
Mm.
there? And then so that's kind of like you don't just have a business plan and always stick to that plan and never adapt it. It's being because different things will happen, right?
Yeah, if you have a stagnant business plan that only has one direction and that's the only way you can go, then your business will kind of flow that way too. What we've realized in business is that being able to flow in multiple directions at multiple levels in multiple areas allows you to adapt, allows you to keep your finger on the pulse and allows you to move in ways that are beneficial. If you don't have that kind of approach, which unfortunately, if you have a static business plan that only has one rule, one way of doing things, it's going to be hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to be nimble. So, yeah, it's not the 5th one, but it is an important one.
Yes.
I don't think it's as
It's
relevant
like
as what it used to be.
4.5.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like 4.5.
Yeah.
So the fifth one would be the reasons why businesses fail is not keeping up with customer needs or the competition. That's massive.
Yeah.
Customer needs are obviously important with regards to delivering a great result, but sometimes customers don't even tell you what they need until you show them. So sometimes you need to be in contact with those customers on a regular basis, even just to educate them on things that they're missing out on, or opportunities that they could have, or a great partnership that they could work with. But I see a lot of business owners being quite lazy and only being reactive, not proactive.
Yeah.
We're extremely proactive because we talk to our customers a lot. Like they have us on speed dial. Although we do not try to talk to them after 5 o'clock because they all know that we are just like not available after that. We're doing other stuff, which is like having
Living
a life.
our life.
Yeah, which is important. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Plus, our team only works Monday to Thursday. We don't work 5 days a week. We only do Monday to Thursday. Amber and I work 5 days, but it's more like 4.5 days. I work 4 days.
Yeah.
Ish.
4 days.
Sometimes 4 days. What's today?
Anyway.
Wednesday. Today I've done 3 days. So that's good. We're getting there. Almost. Week done. One more day to go. So yeah, looking after your customers, looking after their needs, and also looking at what the competition does. That's kind of 2 in 1.
It is 2 in 1. That could be one in itself, right? Seeing what the competition is
Yeah.
doing.
What do you say about customers' needs?
Look, customers needs are going to change a lot. So imagine if you say your customer is a Gen Z, are you always going to stick with the Gen Zs, or as they grow, are you going to grow with them? So that's one thing that you have to consider. Or are you purely a product just for Gen Zs or just for people that are in age 19? And then so when those people get older, will they drop off your brand? Will you cater to them? Or you just stick with 19-year-olds?
I think every business has to evolve though,
Exactly.
because no
exactly.
one stays the same age forever.
Exactly.
You know.
So that's what you've got to consider when you're doing, when you're selling your product.
In
or
saying that though, there are particular businesses that do have this magic formula that will keep them relevant no matter what. A good example of that is I took my son to Culture Kings
I
yesterday.
was just going to say that. Look, you should model the thing you got.
No, I'm not going to do that. So I took him to Culture Kings yesterday, and the reason
You
why
want
this is a
Nebraska
good...
to see the,
No, we don't want to do
to model
that.
the
Nana,
thing.
we don't want to do that. Okay? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to do it.
Anyway, Culture Kings. Again, this is not sponsored by any of the team down there, but I love their store. There is something about that store that resonates across multiple genres and age groups. And it doesn't matter if you're young or if you're like 45 like me. There is something in there for everyone. Male, female, any ethnicity. I saw so many different people of different ages. They were even doing a school tour of
Oh,
young kids
wow.
in primary school going to Culture Kings. Yeah, like it was such a cool vibe. So see, there are brands out there that have like got the secret formula on how they can appeal to young and old, and they're just gonna keep doing it. I just cannot see that business failing. He's opening up a new store now in Las Vegas, which is coming up
Which
really
is
soon.
really funny because you like his clothing and that comes from America, so you'd think they would already have that kind of concept store over in.
They do though. I mean, a lot of his concepts did come from that element of urban hip hop music.
Yeah.
But there is still not a store that does what he does, which is
Which is
live influencers
crazy.
in store, live DJs in store. His sales staff are amazing too. Like they are really legit. They seriously know how to look after customers, get you all the stuff that you want. It's probably why we spent so much money yesterday, because they were just
Yeah,
damn good,
that's
man.
what I was going to say. It's
They
probably,
were good. You
they
got
see,
me.
They see,
You
oh,
got me
look
good.
at this guy. He's going to spend a lot of money. His son's going to.
But it was good. It was a good experience, and I'd definitely go back. In fact, I'd rather shop in store than online. But they don't have the same kind of selection.
This is an experience. That's why when people say things are just going to go online, I still believe that there is a portion of the population that won't. Because how many times has Levi bought stuff online, even through Culture Kings, and it's arrived?
Do you remember
and
those
it's like,
shoes he bought? He
they're
like
for
bought
little
these shoes,
children.
and they were like
Or-
Nikes. It was the first time he was buying Nikes, and he bought them, and he was like, "Oh, I got such a good deal. These Nikes only cost me like $40." And he was so excited, and it took like 2 weeks for them to arrive, and then he opens them, and like they're this big. He got
Yeah.
baby Nikes, and he didn't even know because he didn't check the freaking size. And then when they arrived, they were like this big, and he's like a size 13.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like
That's funny.
the experience that is being created in Culture Kings is something where
It's a
it makes you
generational
want
one.
to go in there, right?
Yep.
They're really thinking about the customer and
Yep.
thinking about what things attract them. There's the cool music, the cool decor.
Yeah.
You might see a celeb, or they
Yeah.
have celebrity influencer days in there.
They
and
have
then
influencer days too. They have
they have
content
clo-
creators in
they
there.
have clothing,
Their staff
jewelry, and
are also supported to be influencers. Like they love that stuff. They actually use their staff in all of their advertising. They're the ones pushing the brands. They're the ones wearing the clothing. And then when people went in the store, like we were in there yesterday, and there was this girl in there. She was famous, man, and she was a sales staff rep. And there were these kids that were
See,
in
I
there, and they
wouldn't know.
wanted to like meet her and talk to her, and
See,
like
that's cool.
TikTok.
They've
Like
got,
that's
they've
cool.
Got, they've got a good
They got a vibe.
formula. They've got a good formula.
They
It's
got a
not
vibe.
my cup of tea.
No,
As you
Nana
can
still
tell-
shops at H&M. Hey, Nana.
Yeah.
Actually, H&M's pretty good. It's
You
not as
still
good as
shop
Culture
at-
Kings,
Look,
though. It's a bit
I'm
boring.
still shopping at the Salvos,
boring.
mate. Because
Bit
my
old.
whole thing for this year is to not buy new. It's to save the
Anyway.
planet.
Talking about the top 5 reasons as to why businesses fail, because Nana will take us on this trajectory where we'll end up gardening. Okay? No one likes to do that. So we will just talk and round
Everyone
out the
loves it.
final top 5 thing that we're talking about, which was
Not keeping up with customer needs or the competition. Like
Correct.
you've given an example of Culture Kings, who is very good at keeping
I think
up
they're
with
completely
customer
dominating
needs.
competition
Yeah.
and keeping up with not just one customer age group, but all customers. And the fact that they had dads like me at 45 in there, and there were guys in there that were much older than me, and bringing in school tours to come into the store at a young, like these kids were young. I was just like, wow, well done. Well done,
what
guys.
kind of school tour is that? I reckon
Well
the
done.
teacher just wanted to go shopping. He's like, come on, kids.
You know what was funny
We'll go
is
to
that the
Culture
parents that
Kings.
were actually with these kids were actually looking at clothes while the kids were running around. So it was weird because the kids were like so keen. They got them up in the DJ booth. They did like basketball shots in the store. It was cool, man. It was like, as a school tour, I would have much rather
Where did you
gone
go
to
on your
Culture
school
Kings
tours?
than the library.
Look, actually,
Oh,
I
let's
quite
go
like
to
that.
the museum, kids, and see some dinosaurs.
I quite like that.
Fuck,
Our
I was
school
too busy
tours-
kissing girls in the bus. That's
Oh,
what
of
I
course
was
you
doing.
were. You're naughty. Our school
Made it more
tours,
interesting.
We we mostly went to Western Springs to see the ducks and the swans.
And this is why Nana
the
likes
hippos.
gardening
I know. I'm one with nature.
and sewing,
I know. I haven't
and all
done
that
sewing
kind of
for a long time.
invigorating H&M experience stuff.
Hey.
Top 5 people. Top 5 reasons
them
why businesses fail. We've touched on all top 5. If you have any questions around how we could help your business, fire it through to us on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We would love to hear your questions around how we can help you. But if there is anything else that you need to know, is that Nana really likes gardening. But today we're going to round it out with one of my favorite New Zealand artists. I thought we'd play some music. It might get muted. Who knows? Who cares? This guy goes by the name of Teeks. We saw him live in concert. And my God, he is good.
Yeah. And it's fitting with our Wiki o Te Reo Māori because he's Māori.
True.
And he can speak Māori very well. It's very
And he can
fluent.
sing. We will let Teeks take it out.
When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years.
If you've been naughty, then this song will get you back inside.
I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known you from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong.
Oh, that's pretty good, eh? Oh, Teeksy.
Good.
That's pretty good, mate. You can't get better than that. Anyway, that's it for this week of Creative Talk Podcast, talking about the top 5 reasons why small businesses fail. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. We've enjoyed making it. We'll be back again next week. And we'll see you then, when we are. Ka kite. Until then.
Mā te wā.
Mā te wā.
When the rain is blowing